Yo, 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 what is going on, CoD Familia? It is your boy BN, and today, yes, finally, we are going to be going over the Gen 2 Season of Strife Dragonfall 11 KvK groups that have just started with their statue for Zone 1, or Pass 1, we could say, that will be opening by tomorrow for a number of the groups on the 14th. So this is going to be taking a look at the SOS 3-5020 through 5010. So these 11 groups with these kingdoms in them are the ones that we're going to be doing our matchup, PvP, and stat breakdowns on. And I'll also be showing you the zone stats as well, just to kind of make it easier for eventually when we end up doing some zone breakdowns, hopefully, if we do end up finding time. However, we go to Augerstone. We're in Kingdom 5 right now, which is one of the Gen 2 groups. Remember, they did end up skipping and going into the next pool. Here you can see Level 1 pass. This is going to be for statue, is going to open here right by tomorrow. This is estimated, I think, for around 7:38 a.m. Eastern Time on the 14th, which would probably be around 12:13 UTC, give or take. With that in mind, let's go ahead and just get right into the goods, because that's what you are all here for. Now, before we do start, I do have to state again, huge shout out to Rich. I know he did a second round of updates on the databot, so I'm happy that he felt everything was in a good place to go ahead and send me. We're going to be looking at stats from the 10th of January. So these are about 3 days or 2.5 days old, if you will. And if you would like to get more information on the databot, link to that in the pinned comment description down below. Also, if anyone out there enjoys the thumbnails or any thumbnails that you've seen me put out, or I guess on a video is more appropriate, there's a link to the thumbnail Discord that my buddy Pasan does. You can reach out to him. I think that's it. And if you enjoy, make sure you hit that button. Thanks. Okay, so we got Luno, Zoo, SW1, OO, Versus, or Squiggly Eyes, excuse me, apologies, EDS, GPX, Seal, and SV. We're going to go over differentials because, again, everyone here can read. But what I will do is tell you that we have a new column. We have merits and then merits divided by power, just to kind of show you how many merits have been accumulated thus far. Keep in mind, no true PvP fighting has broken out yet. Merits have reset with the start of the new season. And again, I can't recall if they reset once the new season starts or if they reset once the current season ends. I guess worst case, it really doesn't matter at this point because the merits have been reset. But it just goes to show you how many merits some of the groups have been accumulating thus far. Okay, as we get into it, we have power, we got power, kills, deads, heals, kills over heals, and then we got 60 up to 200 mil total T5s, that's 60 mil plus, and then 100 mil plus that we have. So differentials, we got 1.41 billion, that's in favor of the EDS group. On merits, we have 1.79 billion, that's in favor of the Luno group. Here for merits over power, we have 2.44% differential. That's in favor of the Luno group. On kills, 4.53 billion differential. That's in favor of the Luno group. Deads, we have a 7.59 million differential. That's in favor of the Luno group. 13.34 billion differential in favor of the EDS group. And then kills to heal, we got a 0.14 differential. That's in favor of the Luno group. When we look at total T5s, we have our total 60 mil plus. We have 566 versus 551. That's a 15 differential. That's in favor of the Luno group. When we look at 100 mil plus, we have 252 to 200. That's a 52 differential in favor of the Luno group. I would argue, based on these, that there is an advantage. Probably a little bit more clearly-ish defined. I mean, yeah, you do have a 1.41 billion differential that's in favor of the EDS group, but you got 15 more, and to me, the big one here is the 52 more 100 mil pluses. As always, activity will be king and crown us appropriately, as it will, but there are some numbers advantages going. I don't know if I'm going to say these are overwhelming. I will just say they're decent. Next group we have is going to be the EX, ERA, 211, K211, TGB, versus ROA, CMAR, ASC, and DC. Here, we got a 1.25 billion differential in favor of EX. On merits, 1.44 billion in favor of EX. 1.98% in favor of EX group. Kills, 8.37, also in favor, billion in favor of the EX group. Still smaller. 169.34 million in favor of deads on the EX group, 24.85 billion heals in favor of the EX group, and we have a 0.14 kill heal differential, which is in favor of the ROA group. Now let's look at T5s. We got 496 for the group versus 582. That's 86 more 60 mil plus players on the ROA side. And when we look at the 100 mil, I mean, this is pretty steep. You got 90 to 152. That's 62 more 100 mil plus players in favor or on the ROA side. Even though you got 1.25 billion more power on the X, I just don't know if that really makes up enough. That is a little more than decent, let's just say, but advantage kind of going to the ROA side. Okay, let's look at... So we got ASG, EXG, IME, HOK versus 3-3, BPT, KOD, and IW. Here, 10.66 billion power differential in favor of the 3-3 group. We have a 1 point, which is decent. It's hefty. We got a 1.58 billion differential on merits. That's in favor of the 3-3 group. 1.19% for merit to power. That's in favor of the 3-3 group. 17.22 billion kills in favor of the 3-3 group. For deads, 153.6 million. That's in favor of the 3-3 group. Heals, 17.33 billion in favor of the 3-3 group. Kills to heal, same. And then we get to total numbers. So we've got 437 60 mil plus players versus 392. That's a 45 amount differential in favor of the ASG group. And then when we look at 100 mil pluses, we have 95 to 74. Keep in mind, right, this was taken as of 3 days ago on the 10th, as we stated. That's a 21 player differential in favor of the 100 mil, right? This is post Brink of War, so it's already finished. Again, you got more, like this to me is decentish. What this shows me, now, yeah, the 21, I'm more happy to see a lower number on the 21 than I am on the total 60 mil plus players. But the fact that they have almost 11 billion more power, what that tells me is they have more power kind of around that 40 to 60 mil range than the ASG group does. Will that be enough to make up and to activity fill, whether that's open field, if that's filling with T4s for rallies, we'll see. But this will be an interesting one just because the sheer amount of power differential versus the amount of total 60 mil plus players and 100 mil plus players. This to me will be one to watch. Okay, then we get to the next, which is going to be ED, SPR, GLR, IR. That's versus BB, HBX, VOK, and 93HH. There's a 0.93 power differential for billions in favor of the BB group. We have a 0.25 billion merit differential, so very close in favor of the BB group. We have a 0.28% differential in favor of the BB group for merits gained so far. Kills, 2.87 billion in favor of the ED group. Deads, 65.46 million in favor of the BB group. Heals, 6.76 billion differential in favor of the ED group. And then we have a 0.02 kill to heal differential in favor of BB. When we look at total numbers, that's 481 60 mil plus versus 455. That's a plus 26 in favor of ED. 70 to 82 plus 12 in favor of BB. So this to me is very close. I mean, you have a little bit more power on the BB side. You have a little bit more 100 mil pluses, but the other side has more totals. I mean, this is pretty darn close to me. It may not necessarily be perfect, but it's the closest that we've seen so far. Will be a matchup to watch. As we get to the next group, this is probably going to be one of the other ones to watch, just simply because TFS is in it, BNR, and a number of other names as well. But we have TFS, IMW, WAO, UHA versus KM, BNR, HWG, and WB. Here, 2.23 billion power differential that's in favor of the KM group. We have 0.48 billion merit differential in favor of the TFS group. We have a 0.91% for merit to power. That's in favor of the TFS group. 2.95 billion power differential or kill differential in favor of the TFS group. 97.88 million deads in favor of the TFS group. 7.6 billion heals in favor of the KM group. And then we have kill to heal. That's a 0.1 in favor of the TFS group. When we look at numbers, 595 T5s or 60 mil plus versus 615. That's a 20 player differential in favor of KM. When we look at T5s, we have 204 to 231, 27 more in favor of KM. So again, a little bit more power KM has, a little bit more 60 mil pluses, and a little bit more 100 mil pluses. I would say they have a slight advantage in this case, but will still be one to watch. Now, that's it for the ABs. We're getting to CDs now. So for these groups, again, got to give everyone some love. We got RVO Nawar, which is a different alliance for Kingdom 13, NAS or NAS, ABS, SPA, and LGN versus ICE, baby, SHWA, Mo, 1UP, NWS, and CG. We have a 5.28 billion power differential in favor of ICE group. We have a 0.95 billion merit differential in favor of the RVO group. We have a 3.34% for MP in favor of the RVO group. 8.6 billion kill differential in favor of the RVO group. 75.4 million dead differential in favor of the ICE group. We have a 3.42 billion heal differential in favor of the ICE group. And we have a 0.25 kill to heal that's in favor of the RVO group. When we look at numbers, 139 60 mil pluses versus 90. That's 49 more 60 mil pluses in favor of the RVO group. We look at 100 mil pluses. We got 23 to 7. That's 16 more in favor. I would argue there is 5.28 billion more, so you're looking at probably more 40 to 60 mils in favor on the ICE side. But that's a decent amount of 60 mil pluses. I mean, it's about 50. The 60 to 100 mil, maybe it's not that much when you think about 528 billion. Maybe this could be closer than we might think. So I will just simply say that based on this, it does feel like there is a slight advantage, and I'll give that to the RVO side. When we look at the next group here, we have IBO, PX, Tazo, TGV, NS, and Phoenix, or PH #X, versus RAVN, HAM, SG97, AUNX, O5DK, and KDA. We got an 18, this is pretty steep, 18.59 billion power differential in favor of the RAVN group. That's the largest power differential we've seen so far. 1.12 billion merits, that's in favor of the RAVN group. 1.1% for MP in favor of the RAVN group. 19.3 billion more kills in favor of RAVN. 113.81 million deads in favor of RAVN. 32.33 billion heals in favor of RAVN. And then we have a 0.06 here on kill to heals that's in favor of RAVN. Let's look at the numbers. 86 60 mil plus players, 77. 9 more players in favor of the IBO group. 5 100 mil to 4. There's 1 more in favor. I mean, there's only a handful of more 60 mil pluses, and then there's a handful, and then there's 1 100 mil more plus. I kind of have to give the advantage here to RAVN. I mean, part of me feels like if they have more 40 to 60 mil players, that could be a difference maker, especially when it's 18.59 billion power, which is just pretty nuts. Yeah. I mean, obviously, could you argue this is pretty lopsided? Yeah. We'll have to see how it plays out. But yeah, it's pretty wild when you think about just how those numbers look. Jeez. Okay, next we have here is going to be Block OOC, BRC, COTC, DPG, IMG hyphen, or IM-G, versus SIP, DGN, 262, ST, and KINT, KINT. 2.2 billion power differential in favor of Block Group, 0.46 for merits gained in favor of SIP Group, 1.37% for MP in favor of the SIP Group, 2 billion more kills in favor of the Block Group, 61.09 million deads in favor of the SIP Group, 4.28 billion heals in favor of the Block Group, and 0.01% on kill to heal that's in favor of the SIP Group. We look at total numbers, 60 mil plus 115 to 96. That's 19 more in favor of Block, 12 to 7, 100 mil pluses. That's 5 in favor of the Block Group. So here, I would give a slight edge to them, maybe a decentish edge, with just having, again, more 60 mil pluses and a handful of 100 mil pluses while also having a little bit of power. So decent edge going on the Block Group, but I would give it to them. When we look at the next group here, we got BD20, CFN, E18, GD, MC1, and DFAM versus KD75, Beck, GTA, RS, Wind, and Auto. 11.62 billion power differential. Almost makes you wonder like why the 48.98 billion group didn't get paired up with the 50 plus billion group CD. Just a thought. But we have 11.62. We would have to examine the numbers more specifically. 11.62 billion power plus or differential in favor of KD75. 1.92 billion merit gain already in favor of KD75 group. That's, I thought I fixed that. That's a 2.85% difference that's in favor of the KD75 group. 30.41 billion more kills in favor of the KD75 group. We have 58.46 million deads. That's in favor of the KD75 group. 24.38 billion heals in favor of the KD75 group. And we have a 0.15 kill heal differential that's in favor of the KD75 group. 193 60 mil pluses to 209. That's 16 players more on the KD75. 26 to 33. That's 700 mil pluses in favor of the BD20 group. The only thing I would have liked to see different here is maybe just more of the totals for 60 mil plus players in favor of the BD group, just because of the 11.62 billion, which again probably is around that 40 to 60 mil range that they're beating out the BDO team on. But based on this, I mean, they have more power. These are not that steep, I'm sorry, it's more power, and I apologize, they have more 60 mil pluses, but like I said, I would have liked for it to go that way. I still have to give the edge out here to KD75 based on just those numbers alone. Okay, let's look at HP, SNK, SHPZ, PBW, AVO, GRZ. They're going up against IFAP, RP, FOD, DWO, HSD, and NWE. 0.52 billion differential, very close. That's in favor of the IFAP group. 0.74 billion merits in favor of the IFAP group. 1.71% difference, that's in favor of the IFAP group. 4.72 billion more kills in favor of the IFAP group. 84.43 million deads in favor of the IFAP group. 2.29 billion power or heals, more heals in favor of the IFAP group. 0.04 for the kill heal, which is in favor of the IFAP group. And then we have 178 60 mil pluses to 137. That's 41 more in favor of the HP group. And then we have 29 to 28, so one more 100 mil plus. I mean, this is pretty close, right? You have, I would say the numbers are obviously leaning more on the HP side. Probably the most significant one is just having 41 more 60 mil pluses. But keep in mind, that's between 60 and 100 mil. I don't know how impactful that will be. Like I said, I think this KvK is going to come more down to overall activity. But I will give a minuscule edge out to the HP group just based on how the numbers look. Let's look at APE or APIO, AT, OCR, CSC, JPLS, FT90. They're going up against OPRT, DNM, K212, AMBR, TWFL, and Luna. Here we got a 5.3 billion more power differential on the APO group. 575.27 million merits. That's in favor of the APO group. 2.42%, that's in favor of the APO group. 3.89 billion more kills in favor of the APO group. 0.58 million deads, very close, but still in favor of the APO group. 3.94 billion heals, more of that on the APO group, and a 0.1 kill to heal differential that's in favor of the APO group. 22 60 mil pluses to 19, so that's a 3 advantage, and they're even on 100 mil. I'll just give it to APO because of the 5.3. This probably is more of that 40 to 60 mil range, I would imagine. So I'll give the edge out to them. And that's it. That's all we got for you guys so far. That's every group at the moment. And if you just want to get a nice overview, we have the teams one here, which just kind of shows you where each alliance and kingdom and who their allies are, or the union that they're in for the season. And then we have a few down here too as well, just to make sure no one's missed. But yeah, very interesting. Like I said, hopefully going forward, we'll be good to go with having the stats ready before. So after the registration period hits, we'll be able to kind of put some out, and I can do some team predictions on, hey, these are the matchups I think would be the most fair based on how it looks on paper, and then seeing how they paired with them. That to me. Also keep in mind for power, and I probably forgot to state this in the beginning, along with kills, deads, heals, we're going off of the top 300 players in each of those kingdoms. The difference here is we're looking at fighting power more so rather than total power, which is one of the factors and metrics that the KvK matchmaking system uses that has been confirmed by CoD CS from multiple reports on individuals, along with even me reaching out. And so the difference there is that they will count every active player in a kingdom regardless of power and city hall level. I mean, there might be some thresholds there where they might not count maybe lower powers at some point. I believe they have stated something to that effect. But the challenge is that unless they come out and they specifically say, yes, we are calculating total power, which they did state, but that total power is based on this minimum to this maximum or from this minimum on up, right, you can really only dissect so much from that. And so looking at total power would be anyone that's eligible in the kingdom where their account has not reached the time or duration deadline for going inactive and having their city removed, which we now know if you are CH25 can go up and be up to 90 days until your city is removed from the map and you're not counted towards the kingdom's power and activity status and then matchmaking for the KvKs. All right, that's it for me. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Let me know what you would like to see throughout the KvKs going forward. If you have maybe certain videos on stats you'd like to see. Do you like the idea of maybe me doing zone openings? So we'll do maybe some stats before each of the zones open. Maybe talk about the merits gained from each of the sides, fighting-wise from each of the zones. Obviously doing a big final zone. Maybe we'll even do a debrief after the end of the KvKs. Maybe interview and talk to some people. We'll see, right? Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. That's going to do it for me. As always, until next time, we'll catch you later.